In the heart of West Africa, in the lush, green village of Umuofia, nestled among ancient Iroko trees, lived a clever young girl named Adaku. She was a master storyteller, and every night, under the silvery glow of the moon, she would weave incredible tales for the children of her village. Her best friend was a boy named Chike. He was kind-hearted, but oh, was he mischievous. Chike loved to tell stories too, but his were, well, let's just say they were a bit exaggerated. He'd claim to have wrestled a leopard or even outrun the wind itself. The village elder, Matsio Konkwo, was a wise man with a voice that rumbled like distant thunder. He often pulled Chike aside, warning him, "Your mouth must stop telling lies, or the spirits will judge you." But Chike just laughed it off. He and Adaku were the best of friends, but his growing habit of telling tall tales began to cast long, dark shadows over their bond. They were inseparable, but Adaku worried about where his stories were leading him. One evening, the entire village of Umuofia gathered for the annual harvest festival. Drums echoed through the night, the rhythms vibrating in your chest. The air was thick and sweet with the scent of roasted yams and freshly tapped palm wine. It was a time for celebration, a time for sharing stories under the bright, watchful eye of the full moon. Adaku, as always, went first. She told a beautiful story about honesty, explaining how truth binds a community together, strong and deep, just like the roots of the sacred Udala tree. Her words painted a picture of unity and trust. But Chike, feeling the need to outshine her, jumped to his feet. His eyes glinted with mischief as he began to spin his wildest tale yet. He claimed that he had climbed the sacred Akwut rock, a feat no one had ever accomplished. And that's not all. At the top, he said he met the moon goddess herself, Nima, who was so impressed by his bravery that she gifted him a magical kola nut, a nut that could grant any wish. The children gasped, their eyes wide with wonder, completely captivated. But Matsio Konkwo, the elder, wasn't impressed. His eyes narrowed, and he pointed a finger towards the sky. "Chike, to lie is not good," he rumbled. "Lies are not good. Nima sees all." A sudden hush fell over the crowd as the festival fires flickered, and everyone felt a shiver of unease, a hint of consequences yet to come. That very night, as Chike slept soundly in his mud hut, a soft, ethereal voice whispered into his dreams. It was a voice like the rustle of palm leaves in a gentle breeze. In his dream, a swirling mist of silver light appeared, and from it emerged the moon goddess, Nima. She was radiant, her light almost blinding, but her expression was stern. "Chike," she said, her voice echoing in his mind, "you have used my name to tell a lie. You have disrespected the light of truth." She gave him a solemn warning. "If you do not confess your falsehood by the next full moon, my light will never touch you again. You will be cast in shadow." Chike woke up with a jolt, his heart pounding against his ribs like the village drums. Cold sweat beaded on his forehead. He was terrified, truly terrified. But his pride, stubborn and strong as the roots of an ancient baobab tree, refused to let him admit his fear or his wrongdoing. He told no one about the dream, not even his closest friend, Adaku. He buried the goddess's warning deep inside, hoping that if he ignored it, it would simply go away. As the days blurred into nights, he tried to forget the chilling prophecy that hung over him. As the next full moon drew closer, Chike didn't stop lying. In fact, his tales grew even bolder, more outrageous. He bragged about stealing honey from a spirit's hive and dancing with forbidden masquerades in the dead of night. At first, the villagers would laugh, entertained by his wild imagination. But soon, their laughter faded, replaced by murmurs of doubt that rippled through Umuofia like a dry wind over the yam fields. People were starting to question his stories. Adaku, seeing the worry in the villagers' eyes and the growing unease in her friend, decided to confront him. She found him by the village stream, where the clear, calm water reflected the bright afternoon sun. "Chike, why do you keep doing this?" she pleaded, her voice steady but laced with fear for him. "The moon is always watching, and Nima is a powerful goddess. She does not forgive lies easily." Chike just laughed, a hollow sound that didn't quite reach his eyes. He casually tossed a pebble into the stream, watching the ripples spread. "Adaku, they're just stories," he scoffed. "The moon doesn't care about a boy's tall tales." But as he said it, Adaku saw a flicker of panic in his eyes, a tiny crack in his mask of bravado. She knew he was scared. Finally, the night of the full moon arrived. The entire village of Umuofia gathered once more for the storytelling circle. Torches blazed, casting dancing shadows, and the elders chanted ancient invocations to the ancestors, their voices rising and falling in the cool night air. Chaik, trying to appear confident, stepped into the center of the circle, ready to spin yet another fantastic tale. He cleared his throat and began to speak. But as the words left his mouth, something strange began to happen. The brilliant moonlight that bathed the rest of the village began to dim, but only over him. A thick, unnatural shadow fell, isolating him from the crowd. Everyone else remained bathed in the moon's silver glow, but Chaik was being swallowed by darkness. The crowd gasped. Whispers turned to cries of alarm. People pointed, their faces a mixture of fear and awe. Matsio Konkwo, the elder, stood up, his tall staff tapping the earth with a sound like a clap of thunder. Nima has judged you, Chaik, he declared, his voice booming across the silent clearing. Confess your lies now, or you will live in darkness forever. The air grew heavy, thick with tension. The moon hung directly overhead like a giant, watchful eye, its gaze fixed on the boy in the shadows, demanding the truth. Chaik's heart raced like a hunted antelope. Panic seized him. He tried to speak, to defend himself, but the words were stuck in his throat, choked by guilt and fear. The last sliver of moonlight vanished from him completely, leaving him in a cold, lonely void while his friends and family watched from the light. Overwhelmed, Chaik fell to his knees on the dusty ground. Tears of shame and regret welled in his eyes and streamed down his cheeks. I lied, he cried out, his voice cracking with emotion, raw and honest for the first time in a long time. I lied about everything. I never climbed Awkward Rock. I never spoke to Nima. I just wanted to be admired. I was wrong. The very moment his confession left his lips, a miracle happened. The moonlight flooded back, pouring down from the heavens and bathing him in its gentle, forgiving glow. A collective sigh of relief swept through the villagers. And then, a soft voice, heard only by Chaik, echoed in his mind. It was Nima. Truth is the light that binds us all, she whispered. Lie no more, my child, and my light will always be there to guide you. From that day forward, Chaik was a changed boy. He swore to only speak the truth. His stories were no longer filled with impossible feats but with genuine observations, heartfelt emotions, and real-life lessons. And you know what? The villagers loved them even more. They gathered in even larger crowds to hear the honest tales of the boy who had learned his lesson. People said the moon itself seemed to shine brighter over Umuofia, a clear sign of Nima's favor. Adaka stood proudly by her reformed friend, a warm smile on her face. Nima forgives, she whispered to him, but she never forgets the importance of truth. Matsio Konkwo would nod wisely, sharing proverbs about honesty around the evening fires. And so, the people of Umuofia learned why the moon refuses to shine on liars, a timeless lesson of integrity, passed down from one generation to the next, forever told under the beautiful, silver light that will always honor truth. Stay truthful and stay curious.